Good morning everybody, welcome back to Cilinix Crypto and welcome to a new video right here on Avax. We're going to do a full video here. Was definitely necessary and was also requested, so I think someone in the Telegram community asked me to do one, and here we are. But in general, I mean, Avax has been one of the strongest recovering altcoins after the liquidation spike that we had on Monday. You could have gotten an amazing entry right here at the yearly rolling VWAP, amazing indicator by the way. So would be great if some of you got that, but ultimately Avax has been doing great. I mean, on the daily, what I always say is that when we have some sort of a downturn in the markets, whatever it was, right, on Monday, some people are calling it a flush. I don't think that's true. The leverage in the markets was relatively low and the funding rates were anything but elevated, which normally that's what you need for a flush. But the price action was flushy at least. But what you always want to do is you want to look at the cryptos that recovered the best. And then what a lot of people think is that, well, they're already back at the same prices. They're not going to rally higher. But no, if anything, this is a reason why Avax will rally even higher. And that's what I said in my last video. In my last video, we already knew that Avax had gotten a high volume breakout above this level right here between $30 and $32. So back then we already said it's most likely we're going to head for $40, $41, $42 at least, and then potentially also up to that major resistance level at $50. And those are still my thoughts. I mean, after all, I mean, if you take a look at altcoins, not all of them look great, but so far they are finding support where they should find support, right? So I still think it's good to be bullish on altcoins. And if you just forget about the crypto markets and you only see this chart, it's an incredibly bullish chart. Now, fundamentally, obviously, we've heard the news, I think 2 weeks ago, of some Avax treasury companies. I think we actually got some news on that earlier today, but I'm not certain about that. Let me see. Whether I can actually find that or not. I think it was earlier today or not. Yeah. So AgriForce rebrands to Avax One, plans $550 million raise for Avalanche Treasury. Scaramucci of Avalanche, no, Scaramucci, I'm not sure. But he joins the Agri Advisory Board. So that's a news that we got that I think created even more momentum, because the volume yesterday going into today is incredibly high. Now, if you take a look at, can I actually take a look at Avalanche real quick? The chain, please. If you take a look at the fundamentals for Avalanche itself, those are also growing, but I think this matters a little bit less than $550 million in a raise. So technically we're looking great. Fundamentally, there's reasons to be optimistic about Avax. I cannot be anything but optimistic about Avax right now. I do think that, in times when there's quite a lot of euphoria, which I'm not certain if that's right now, but okay. I think it's good to be aware that, pulling back is still a possibility, but ultimately I do think we'll be able to hold that level between $30 and $31 as support. And I think it's I think it's a matter of when, not if, we'll be able to break above this local resistance at $36 for a rally into $40 and $41. It looks quite clear, and sometimes when something looks this clear, it's also a reason to be a little bit cautious, which, like I always say, and I made a full video on that yesterday, stick to risk management, all right? But as long as you do, I think you should be bullish on Avax, and I'm much more of a buyer on Avax than a seller. Even though we have already rallied a lot, I think the ceiling is still at least 10% higher, but probably more. And there's a couple of coins that are quite correlated to Avax, by the way. NEAR is also quite strong. So that's also a coin to keep your eyes on. And those have been quite correlated in the last weeks. So yeah, those are my thoughts. That's sort of thing you need to know. Thank you for watching, everybody. Take care and bye.